Do you ever want to do every single panning project that exists? Well, apparently so did Jessica. So this is going to be my update for Throwback 30. Before I get into it anymore, I am going to ask you to please do all of the things, and you know what they are. Couple of things. It is February 28th. You will not see this on the 28th, but anything that I have completed or whatever is going to go into my February empties. I know that you're seeing this in March, but I just wanted to clarify where those empties are going to go. All right, now, this is a project that was the brainchild of Jessica Lee. She did this through the Fantastic Ladies, and what she did is she took a bunch of projects, and I don't know originally how many there were that she did this, or that she had us choose from. The last round that is now currently going, I saw the list of all of the projects that were available that we all in the Fantastic Ladies voted on, and then she tallied up the top 30, and that's how this project came about. So what we need to do for this one is go through each of the projects, pick a prompt, and put an item with it. This is one of the few projects that you absolutely have to be part of the group. So I am going to, wow, technical difficulties already at the beginning of the video. You know, this is going to go well for the crazy train. Yay, me. All right, so I'm going to have Jessica's channel link below, but I will also link the Fantastic Ladies group. It's just fun to be in, so you should check it out. So the hashtag on this is Throwback30, being 30, the numbers, not the word. Project Pan. We do monthly updates on this, usually. So I not only didn't do January, I'm behind in February. I mean, you know, I'm batting 1,000 on this. This runs January 28th of 2022 to January 28th of 2023. With any luck, it will come back again next year because it is a really fun way to get your hands on projects that you didn't get to participate in while they were active. So, the first one I have in the project still is, well, no, I don't. Okay, this video is a disaster already. Hopefully you grabbed yourself a beverage because this one's all over the place. The first project was 12 Days of Christmas. I had put in two turtle doves, or I had picked two turtle doves. I had put in the single turtle doves from Sydney Grace. I recently took that out of this project and moved it into the Women Who Rock project. So I'm just going to count this as a done prompt because I had already done it once while I was in Minnesota, and then I started over again here. Did get a couple uses on it, and then moved it to something else. So I'm counting this as completed. I'm just giving up. So for number 3, it is 50 Shades of Green. With that, I picked the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light Bronzer. All you're seeing is the silly ring light doing it that way. Mine is getting worn. I mean, there's still pattern, but you can see that there's some dip in there too. I put this in for 48 uses. I have got 24. So I'm halfway there. This is going to stay in the project. Okay, then the next one was 50 Shades of Pink. For that, I put in the Lancome toner that I like. This is the Tonique Comfort. I don't speak French. Anyway, this is the travel size of it. My goal is to finish it. In December, it was 42.1 grams. It's now 24.1 at the February 28th, which is the day this should have gone up, but still I'm recording on the right day. This may or may not be done next month. It might be the month after. We will see. It does get more narrow at the bottom, so I might be able to finish it off, but for right now, it is remaining in the project. Then we had 50 Shades of Purple. For that, I had put in the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask Mini in Gummy Bear. This is one of the ones that comes like in the set that they do at holiday time that I got from Sephora. The goal, of course, was to finish it, and I did. So I love Gummy Bear. That's probably, I think, my favorite. Although I do like Sweet Candy, and, you know, I like them all, but Gummy Bear just really, for some reason, I love. So that is going to be going into the empties. That is a completed prompt. Then we have Alice in Wonderpan, and I picked Blue Caterpillar. So that is a minimizing or growing product. I picked the NYX Pore Filler Primer because it's supposed to minimize the look of your pores. I just started this in February. I started at the beginning of this month. And we're getting down there. I keep it in one of my roller things, the roller thing that I keep it in. And it is now 10.3 grams. It was 12 grams at the beginning. This is just the 0.27 ounce version of it, and this will definitely be a rollout for next month. So you can look forward to that. Then the next thing we have is Birthstone Beauty. I picked April and picked Diamond because I had the BH Diamond palette from their Birthstone series that they did 2021, I think. Hard for me to go backwards with years. Anyway, I chose to do this as basically a no pan left behind, excluding the glitter because, ew, chunky monkey. So, this is lovely, this is fine, this is whatever. This is not my color story. This actually doesn't look all that good on me. These two shades just are too warm. They don't look right. This is just a odd beige. Yeah. I love this silver. Okay, this is just going, I'm decluttering it to my mother, so it's not like it's a big deal that I'm sticking my finger in it because I will sanitize it for her, and she doesn't care. She's my mother. So the shade Stunning, this silver, is actually the reason that I considered keeping the entire palette for one shade, because I'm a goofball. I'm passing it on to my mother. I got my uses. I don't like it. It's not worth keeping in my collection. That one is a done prompt. All right. Then we've got, okay, now I've got, well, all right. The next we have is Budget Beauty. So for that, I went with the Wet n Wild Lip Sleeping Mask. This is in lavender. This is a 0.21 ounce. I just cracked this open a few days ago. You can see there's just a little bit of disturbance in that top part because I had finished off the others. So this one is now actually being used, but is going to be a while before it is done. This one's going to stay on the project. Those take me quite a while to get through. Then, food for thought. So a food-themed item on this one, I picked the Glamlight Hershey's Kiss palette in milk chocolate. And I decided that I was going to do this 3 uses for each of the colors. They're gorgeous browns. This one has a little bit more of a cool tone, I would say. Their almond one is very warm toned, and that one I don't care for. This is gorgeous. I love this one on me. I mean, this one actually works with my skin tone. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the last video I'm filming tonight, you guys. And it's kind of starting to show. So I do that whole thing, all of those shades together as one look. I have one more use that I need to do on that. I've gotten 2 of my 3. So that's going to stay in the project also. That will be done next month too. Then, let's get loose. This was not my brightest move, you guys. Not at all. So I picked the Notoriously Morbid Woodland Critter Christmas is the line. The color name is Little Poof Ball Hat. Now, oh, this has got, okay. So it is stunning. There are all kinds of sparkles in there that you can see. It's this beautiful blue. I am not going to swatch this. I cannot get this to work where it does not look way too overpowering. I've gotten one use. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to press it into a pan. It took me a makeup wipe, my Lancome eye makeup remover, the waterproof stuff, to get the smears from what spilled off of my counter. I have a little bit of something pressed. I'm going to try and work it that way to get my uses. This is one of those things that is going to end up probably either being used only for like a crazy look, like a Halloween look, a Day of the Dead look, or something like that, or I'm going to declutter it, or I'm going to try and press all of it into a pan, and a bigger pan, because I can't use this the way it is. It is not a good color for me. Is it fun? Is it pretty? Is the glitter gorgeous? Absolutely. It just looks like crap on me. So I've gotten 1 of my 5 uses, and that is where we're staying. Then, let's go to Mean Girl quotes. The quote I picked was, I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops. This is basically something that you saw someone else using, so you ended up getting it. I got the Hangover RX pillow balms because Deb B raves about them. And I don't know. The Too Faced stuff, like their lip injunctions, all that stuff is supposed to be plumping. This has a sensation, but it's such a weird minimal sensation that I don't feel any tingles. I don't feel any kind of plumping. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of cool. I have no idea. This is just the original one. I put it in brand new to finish. This is where we're at. It is 34.1 grams of the original 38. So that should tell you how much is product in there. I'm not yet at the part where I need to take out the stopper. I probably will on this. And I'm guessing that this might actually even be done. I mean, can you see how far down I am in there? It's way down there. I'm guessing I'll probably have that done next month. So, and I do like it to the point where I actually got their Christmas stuff with their flavors. So we'll see how that works out. All right. God, this video is going to be long. I apologize. Then we have Nightmare on Panning Street. So for that, I picked the movie Alien. This is something that's alien to your collection. While this was a new thing, this is from Lily Posh Cosmetics. This is the shade Alien Posh. No, Posh Alien. Posh Alien. Aren't you glad this is the last video I'm recording tonight? Because I'm even crazier than normal. That's what it looks like. I don't have a wipe. Darn me. And then when you put it on, it's really pretty. I really do like it. I've gotten 3 out of my 5 uses. And I don't know if you guys can... I don't know if there's going to be enough to see. But there's a little bit of a pink shift to that. I don't know if you can tell or not. Anyway, that's going to stay in because I have 2 more uses left on it. And then... I have makeup all over my hands. I am a disaster. Then we have Pan as Old as Time. So this is the oldest palette. I picked this Mary Kay Eye Color Quad. We have got 4 shades in here. We've got Cream, Opal, Sable, and Bittersweet. My goal is to hit Pan in each of these. Now, you can tell how dusty musty this thing is looking. I don't think you can tell how big the dips are in these first 2. I have a dip in the 3rd one, but I've got to be close to Pan on these first 2. I use it a lot of times to set my eyeshadow bases. So I'm guessing that I'm going to hit Pan by next month. In at least one, if not both of those 2. And then I'm going to have to struggle to work with those last couple. But I've got some time. So that is remaining in. I had Skin is In. For that, I had brought in The Ordinary, just one of the buffets. That's where we were. It is now completely empty. So that will be going into my empties. And that is a completed prompt. Then we've got That's So 2000s. This is a project that I am not only currently doing, but we've already spilled the beans that it's coming back next year, and I'm signed up for that too. But for this project, I picked the Jonas Brothers, which is a trio product. And I brought in, this is the Natasha Denona Baby Biba palette. I brought this in to use each shade 5 times. I have done that. That is a completed goal. And I know I'm not swatching everything, but I know that I have in the past. And honestly, what I'm not swatching a lot of times is a lot of browns. I mean, how many different browns do you need to see? Anyway, I actually really like this palette. It's really fun. It's going to roll back into my collection. You know where I'm putting things. And that is another completed prompt. Yes. All right. Then we've got the Golden Girls. So I picked Sophia. So this was a sample, basically, or an older product. I went with sample. I went with the Way Thick Hair Mask. Okay. Decent mask. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a thick hair mask. Did it work? Well, sure. It's a hair mask. Yes, it helped. It was fine. Way is not a cheap brand. I don't think, and I have a lot of hair, but I have very fine hair. I don't have super thick hair. Even with all of the white and with it being curly and coarse, my hair is not thick. I don't know that people with thick hair would be happy with this. Glad I got to use it. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it either. I mean, I have family members that have really thick hair. I wouldn't let them purchase this. So I guess that's my opinion of it. All right, that's going in the empties. And that's another completed prompt. Okay, we've got This is Fantasy. Chimera is what I picked, and that is a Franken product. Now, hopefully you're seeing the picture of everything that I put in to make this. what we have got, come in. I pulled the picture of it up so that I would remember what all I have. The reason I did this is because I want to get rid of that Shimmerista powder by L'Oreal and that Fit Me powder that I have, although it is the lighted shade, it's not the translucent, it's light, and it's too dark for me. So I keep frankening this. So what I did is I put it all into this Wet n Wild. There was about half a jar of this left. There was that e.l.f. HD was a full jar, and the little Tarte one is a travel size, but that was also full, brand new. So I have completed 3 powders in addition to using parts of 2 others, and we'll have to keep frankening. But that's 3 powders out because this one is done. And then when it was almost done, I had crushed up the Rimmel Stay Matte powder and added it in. So I had another powder out that you recently saw or will see, or I don't know, whatever. So that's in the empties also. That is a completed prompt. Yay, that one took quite a few months. I brought that in at the intro and brought it with me from Minnesota. So I finished it, let's just go early February because like I said, I added that Rimmel in there too. So that lasted quite a while, but the original weight on that was like 93.2 grams. Let's for giggles just see what the empty container weighs since this video is taking forever and a day anyway. Okay, yeah, we got 57.2 grams just for the container on my scale. So that's quite a bit of powder that I used. But you're going to see, those are going to be talked about in my empties video for February, and that is a completed prompt. All right, we got tiny pans next. For tiny pans, I picked this little baby Lancome. This is one of their color design palettes. This is the Color Story Gold Bold. This is one of the ones that you get when you buy something, get one of their free gift things like so many pieces, whatever. This was included in one of those. This is not the regular size that they sell for $50. These are about a $20 value. My goal was to use this completely, and I had massive pan. This is hard to get out. You have to use a very small brush. I don't know that I'm going to be able to use this completely. I've got some good dips in it, but we'll see. We'll see how far I get. I'll be happy with progress basically on that. If I don't get it fully completed by the time this project is done, I will keep working on it until I finish it, but it's staying in for now. All right, then, oh, I forgot the last product. I'll be right back. Would you believe I managed to grab what I forgot, but still didn't manage to grab a makeup wipe, so I'm still going to be a mess. The last one that I have is for the Zodiac Project Pan, and that is technically Finnish, a zodiac sign based on the color. I am a Cancer, and the colors for that are silvery blue, smoky gray, and that literally is the description of this shade, which was originally part of the NAR Duo Zarine. The other shade was like a buff colored shade that, no, beigey, I finished in its entirety. And we're getting, you can kind of see where that dip is. We're getting very close to pan, which is my goal, but we haven't hit it yet. And I generally am not one really to dig, but I use a pencil brush or I use like an eyeliner brush. I use this as eyeliner a lot. And then I use a pencil brush just because of it being the color that it is and the way that I use it. I mean, it's a fairly deep color. So this isn't something that I use a bigger, fluffier brush and like I do some of the others. So I'm not intentionally digging, but I do have a spot that in the middle that seems where I kept going. And that is the color. So like those 3 together look really pretty, don't they? Anyway, not the point. Point is I will probably have hit pan in that one next month. So for now, that is also going to stay in. But you got to figure that's one, counting with Ruth. No, not Ruth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the prompts that I have finished in the last couple of months. We're getting there. And I did, like I said, I did start this in Minnesota and I did mini products because I was only going to be around for a couple of months and I got all of that stuff too. So I'm very happy with my progress on this project. I hope you all are also. Now, let's talk about music. because this is Throwback 30, I wanted to go with an older band. And I decided that I wanted to talk to you about the Walker Brothers. The Walker Brothers, in my mind, correlate a lot to the Righteous Brothers. Now, you know the Righteous Brothers. You know You've Lost That Love and Feeling, Unchained Melody. Their songs have been used, ever since they came out, those songs have been used in multiple things, movies, whatever. So most people are familiar with those songs. Now, what I did not realize, and just recently found out, is that the Walker Brothers don't get quite the same recognition as the Righteous Brothers do, but they are not as obscure as I kind of thought they were becoming. This is a band that is from, okay, let's see if I can get to the right thing and I will tell you, the 60s and 70s. They actually are an American band, but they moved to England and then started having better success. They're a trio, not a duo, since I'm comparing them to the Righteous Brothers. They all ended up actually taking the last name Walker, despite the fact that that was not originally any of their names. Yeah, I had to double check on that, but none of them originally had the last name Walker. They all ended up taking the name. So for this, my two favorite songs by them are actually their two biggest hits, Make It Easy on Yourself and Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. Now, I'm going to link the Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore down below. The reason that I am picking this song in particular is because it actually was originally released as a single from Frankie Valli, but the Walker Brothers had a huge hit with it. And it's their version that ended up being used in the soundtrack for, and I've got to look this up because I never remember the name of the movie. Where is it? Usage and Media. Okay, so it's been used in The Walking Dead, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. That's the movie that it was used in. And it was also featured in the film Stoker. I'm not as much up on my movies as I should be lately. The interesting thing about being featured in the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World is that they used another Walker Brothers song, but it is not, I never even knew the Walker Brothers covered it, probably because I love the original. Stay With Me Baby is the song. It was originally recorded by Lorraine Ellison. She is not the composer of the song, but she is the first one that recorded it and had a hit with it, so I always attribute the song to her. It was done by Steve Marriott of the Small Faces. We haven't talked about them as much yet as we should, but we'll get to them too because that's another one of my favorite bands. I really do like Steve Marriott. It's been covered by everybody under the sun. And then recently they started putting it in the reality music show. I don't know if it was American Idol or if it was The Voice, but that song started coming up and they were trying to have people cover it on the shows. It was also a huge hit for Duffy. Now, in between, yes, there are a bunch of other artists that have covered it. There are both male and female artists that have covered it. If you go search for the song, you're going to find all kinds of versions. I'm not putting that in. I don't care for it. So I'm going to put in the song that I do like instead, maybe you might know from that movie. So it is nice to see that these guys have not faded completely into obscurity. They did have some other hits. They had put out several albums. They had taken a break and then done some solo work, then got back together. Did have another hit off of that, but then the musical trends changed and they just weren't getting airplay. So basically they weren't selling records, which means they were not making money. Kind of how that worked back in the day. So this is a band that is no longer around and two of the three members have passed away. But beautiful voices, absolutely lovely music. I hope you enjoy their song. And like I said, check out some of their other stuff. I really do enjoy them in general as a band. And that is what we have got for our throwback band for this music moment for this video. That is, I think, everything I wanted to ramble incessantly about. Hopefully you made it through this. If you did, thank you so very much. Leave me a music emoji. All right. Thanks for spending your time with the Crazy Train and letting me stumble through all of my words and go off on tangents and speak randomly about who knows what. And until next time, everybody, see ya. Bye.